Today I'm going to be sharing with you what I eat in a typical day to have lost 75 pounds. So I'm on the way to my 100-pound goal, which I'm hoping to hit by June 30th of this year. And this morning I've started off with a cup of coffee, and I'm also going to be having one of these Oikos Triple 13 yogurts. I do have some company coming over shortly to help me with something that I'm hanging out in the backyard. So I'm actually going to be eating the rest of my breakfast in about an hour, which will probably be some eggs. I'm probably going to have some scrambled eggs. So this morning I'll be doing the Triple 13 yogurt, and then I'll bring you back as soon as we have our eggs. So if you're looking for a way to increase your protein, but decrease and have a nice low-calorie snack or even a meal replacement, give these Naked Whey ISOs a try. Now I have this one in vanilla. I also have an almond one, but I really love the Naked Whey. They don't have any of the sucralose or artificial sweeteners. They're low in calories. 2 scoops is 140 calories with a whopping 30 grams of protein. I've got a link in the description below to order the Naked Whey products. All right, it's been about an hour and a half. Time for me to make some eggs. So I usually put together half egg whites and a couple of eggs, so it just gives me more protein with less calories. So let me show you how I do this. I'm gonna start off by putting about a teaspoon of butter in my pan. And I have some frozen tomatoes and peppers from last summer's garden. I am almost done with them actually, but I'm going to put some of these in here. Now I also have some onions that I have frozen, which I'm going to put some of those in there. And this is just one way that I extend my harvest from the summer. I freeze my onions and peppers, I kind of chop them up, and then I have them available whenever I need them throughout the year. And I really like to do that because I live in Southern California and there's just absolutely no way that I can keep my peppers and onions throughout the year. I don't have any kind of cold storage or anything like that. So anyway, I'm going to start heating those up, and then I'm going to add my scrambled eggs. All right, I've got 2 eggs that I've put into a bowl, and to that I'm going to add a half a cup of egg whites. Now I always add a dash of milk or cream to my eggs. I just like the way it comes out. And a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. And I'm also going to add a little bit of this Mr. Bing chili crisp. It's a little bit spicy, not too bad. It just adds a little bit of something to your eggs. If you don't like that flavor, obviously you don't have to add it. These are just different things that I do to spice up my breakfast in the mornings. I always like a little bit of heat personally. And I like this Mr. Bing because it just doesn't have any, MSG or anything like that in it. All right, so we're going to give that a little stir. So some days I add cheese, some days I don't. Today I'm actually going to add a little bit of cheese when they get closer to being done. My eggs are almost cooked, and so I'm going to add my cheese at this point. About 1/3 of a cup, not too much, just enough to give it a little bit more flavor. And that's about how I like my eggs cooked. All right, let's give our eggs a try. Super good. I'll put a little hot sauce on them too. Now for lunch today, I'm actually going to be having some leftovers. Last night I had made some chicken kebabs and basmati rice. I've got a little bit of that left. I'm just going to throw that in the microwave, and this is going to be lunch today. Oh, that smells so good. We're going to have a little bit of basmati rice and some chicken kebabs. So I had a different idea for dinner tonight, but I'll tell you what, my grandkids just left and I feel like death warmed over. I am so exhausted that I'm making something really good, really delicious, but really simple. Now, these are things that we need to have on hand, especially when we're trying to diet and meal prep and things like that. So on a night like tonight where I want to stay on my diet and eat something healthy, I decided I'm going to have something delicious. So these are some different samples that I received from a company that asked me to try these. The name of the company is called Fishwife, and they do all kinds of delicious seafoods. So this one here is an albacore tuna with Spanish lemon. And this one here is a rainbow trout. It's been slow smoked over beechwood. So tonight we're gonna have some trout that I am going to put together, and I'm gonna serve it on some sourdough crisp breads. And it's not only gonna be really, thinning and diet conscious, it's also gonna be really healthy. So let's get started. Now this company actually had all kinds of different, fish that you could try. They had a salmon that looked really interesting. I thought about trying that. But I love rainbow trout, and it reminds me back in the day, my grandfather used to smoke rainbow trout. And so, oh my gosh, does it ever smell good? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this in this bowl. Oh, that smells so good. I might do I have 3 cans of this. I may do all 3. I have a feeling my husband, as soon as he tries this, he's probably gonna wanna have seconds. So let's go ahead and see how much we get out of the 2. Now I'm going to add a little bit of onion and a small amount. I'm not sure if I'm going to add sour cream or mayonnaise at this point. So I've cut up a little bit of red onion. I'm going to put in about a tablespoon of mayonnaise. That's it. I don't want to overpower this with mayonnaise, and I also don't want to overpower it with onions, so I'm going to put a small amount of onion in this. But to be honest with you, I think most of it I'm just going to kind of serve on the side. And then we can put it on if we want to. Put a little bit of salt and pepper. I don't think it needs a lot of seasonings because we want to be able to taste that nice smoky flavor. So I am going to try it just so I know if it needs more salt or what have you, but oh my gosh, that is so good. So I'm going to be serving this on these sourdough crisp breads. These are only 35 calories a slice. So we're going to do 2 of these. Now they make these in all flavors, rye, whatever it is you like. I actually love sourdough anything. So I'm going to just put a few of these together. So this is going to total about 1 can per person. There we go. I'll do a little bit of red onions on the side. If we want more red onions, we can get those. I'm also going to be cutting up a lemon, a couple slices. Now each one of these salmon containers has 180 calories. It actually has, as far as carbs, it's 0. It has 15 grams of protein in it. This is a powerhouse and it tastes absolutely delicious. So I'm going to be serving this with the rest of the coleslaw that I had from last night. This is a keto coleslaw that I made, and I'm going to link a video above that shows how I make the keto coleslaw. I actually use, I believe it was sour cream, might have been yogurt, but I believe it was sour cream instead of the traditional just putting all the mayonnaise in. And I like to have coleslaw on hand. It's really healthy. Cabbage is really good for you. I put a lot of dill in mine. I love that sweet, and you know, it doesn't have sugar in it. I use monk fruit instead, but that sweet and kind of that tart flavor from the vinegar. So I've got that. Now I'm also going to serve this with a cup of carrots. And typically these carrots will last for a couple of meals. All right, so we actually have enough for another dinner. Now I serve the carrots with 2 teaspoons of onion dip. So it just adds a nice, delicious flavor to our dipping dinner. And you can see what I'm talking about. When I'm tired, I'm tired. I don't want to mess around anymore. And there you go. In less than 10 minutes, I have a delicious, healthy, nutritious dinner that is going to be, it's almost like eating a charcuterie board. This is just wonderful. Now, like I said, this is the fish wife. I did the smoked rainbow trout. I've tried it already. It was absolutely delicious. I can't wait to try the albacore tuna in the Spanish lemon. I just think these are just wonderful. And, you know, if you're interested, I'm going to leave a link below so you can order online. Feel free if you're interested. And anyway, I would give it a try. Let me give this on the crisp bread a try just so I can tell you how it came. Wow. I'll be ordering this again. I love smoked rainbow trout. I love smoked salmon too. I think they had that as well. So thanks for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was an inspiration to you and gave you some ideas of things you could eat on a diet, still lose weight and enjoy your food. Tonight, I'll probably be having a protein shake, one of those Oikos 30 grams of protein shake, along with an apple later, just because I haven't eaten that much food today. So I'm gonna enjoy dinner right now, and then I'm gonna be having a wonderful snack later on. So if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. Give me a like, a thumbs up, or ring that bell for future notifications. And I hope I see you tomorrow night. I'm going to continue on I guess it'll be part 4. This will be part 3 of my week-long series on what I eat in a day. So have a great evening, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.